Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to shorter attention, what I was doing and things like that. Hopefully it helps you out. You know, hopefully. Hello there, boys and girls, and welcome to another exciting episode of Storytime with Uncle Mason. Today I am joined by my dear friend here, Backwards Bill. Now, Backwards Bill later on is going to help us demonstrate the science of trauma reactions, so that way we can talk about what happens to you as a traumatic event is occurring. But before we get to that exciting story, I wanted to talk about some upcoming events on Honor 22. This upcoming Saturday we will be over at Power Park Fitness at 9 o'clock. I do still have 3 free passes for that, so if you're interested in running an obstacle course with us, let me know and we can get that squared away. Tournament of Heroes, we're actually just one team shy of reaching our 12-team goal, so great job there, guys. We're still looking for that one last team. Again, it's $300 for a team of 12, and we are still seeking sponsorship and volunteers to help us out, so any way that you guys can sponsor or volunteer would be fantastic. And then finally, we do still have our t-shirts for sale. They are going to be $15 a pop, and they come in all shapes and sizes. So don't forget to pick one up and help us out. So basically, there's a lot of things that go into how your body reacts during a traumatic event. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read a short little statement from the book itself, and I'm going to point out here on Backwards Bill just how this traumatic event affected your body and what was going on while it was occurring. And then from there, we'll talk a little bit more about it. So, move this over real quick. Alrighty, so the science of trauma reactions. When we encounter something that we feel threatens our life, a cascade of hormonal reactions is triggered. Our nerve shoots a message to our adrenal glands and dumps adrenaline and noradrenaline into our bloodstream, causing our heart to beat faster, our lungs to pump harder, and getting the rest of our body ready to either fight, flight, or freeze. Our pupils dilate, as Bill can see here. He's looking pretty startled by what he's seeing, giving us tunnel vision so we can focus on the threat and not be distracted by our peripheral vision. Thousands of small muscles in our arms and legs constrict, sending blood away from our skin and into our muscles for quicker movement, and so that if our extremities are wounded, we won't bleed as badly. Our blood sugar and free fatty acids instantly ramp up, giving us more energy. At the same time, up to 70% of our brain-bound oxygen is quickly shunted into our muscles so we can run, kick, or punch like we never had before. Additional hormones give us uncommon strength and quickness. Our perception of time is altered, so a 10-minute firefight, or if you're a victim of domestic abuse, if you're in a rape, something like that. So all of our time is altered, so it seems like, this 10, 20-minute, hour-long process only took 1 minute. But there's a second part of this, not just what happens physically, but also what happens mentally. So something happens deep inside our brains too. Our right brain alarm goes off and drowns out the logical analysis of our left brain. It screams, less thinking, more action. Shit's going down, we need to take care of it. It also starts taking pictures like never before. So the noradrenaline, sorry, I butchered that, heightens the emotional aspects of the situation, making it more vivid and notable. Very strong and clear memories are being recorded, probably so that we remember this event to avoid it in the future. Now this is important. So, regardless of who you are, regardless of how much training you've gone through, regardless of your background, race, religion, sexual orientation, skin color, whatever, every single human being on the planet has these same reactions to traumatic events. They may differ in the intensity, but they're all the basic same, reactions. You're either going to fight what is happening, you're going to run away from it, or you're going to freeze and let it happen to you. So according to the book, again, this is according to the book, God designed you in a way so that you had the ability to react to whatever was happening to you. So during these traumatic events, even though you may not remember it, deep inside your brain is taking thousands of pictures of the event. So while all this is going on, there's a thing called, the fog of war, where things get mixed up. Well, in this situation, regardless of the traumatic event, things can get mixed up in your own mind to where you can't remember the event specifically. So your brain has categorized every smell, taste, and feel from what was going on. So in the future, if your brain senses one or more of these sights, smells, taste, or feelings, your brain automatically puts you in attack mode. The reason being, you've been there before, so it's either fight or flight time. If your brain senses something that has happened to you before at a very traumatic event, your brain is automatically going to heighten your senses. Your adrenaline's going to start pumping, your heart's going to start racing, your muscles are going to tense up, and you're going to get ready to either fight or flight. Why? Because what happened before was very traumatic, and your brain is doing what it can to protect itself. So survivor's guilt is also something that comes out of this, and I wanted to read a little something about that in here. So it says survivors may feel shock or shame over what this part of them did. So basically, in a situation that's life or death, regardless of what field you're in, combat, civilian, whatever, in a situation that's life or death, you have to do whatever you can humanly possible to survive. Now, afterwards, when everything's said and done and you're still around, your brain's going to look at that and you're going to feel very guilty about that. And that part of that guilt plays back into the whole PTSD thing. Remember the horror, guilt, shame, and anger? Well, part of that guilt comes from that, the things you had to do to survive. So I want to emphasize this, and I want to emphasize it very quickly. You are alive, regardless of what you had to do to get there. So every day, you have a choice. You can either live by the fear of what happened and what you potentially, what you did to get to where you are now, or you can grow from it. You can grow from it and become a better person. So the book also goes into mention, there's two important things you need to know about God and why He's given you this. So God gave you this reactive pathway so that you would be able to do whatever was necessary to survive. It kept you alive. God knows that when our lives are threatened, this behavior needs to come out, or we could die. At this point, all the rationality, dignity, intelligence, and decorum in the world is absolutely useless. So it doesn't matter how prim and proper you are, what background you come from, anything like that. When it comes down to either your life or theirs, you're going to do what you can to be around. No matter the second part here, no matter how hard you might have tried, you couldn't have stopped this reaction. Can you stop your heartbeat? No. Neither are we able to control ourselves when our brains have clicked into this mode. So when your brain is clicked into this attack mode, when you're on this adrenaline rush, it is very, very difficult to come down from it. It is very difficult to process it unless you've actually trained your mind to do so. So the things that happen while you're on this adrenaline rush are because your brain is doing absolutely everything that it can to keep you alive. So that's a big part there. Now, there was a two-part scale here that I wanted to include before I finish this up. So everybody say bye to Backwards Bill. Bye, Backwards Bill. Oh God, why? Why? I'm a bit cynical, sorry. Okay, so let me put this. So this scale, it's going to use the same thing, but it's basically asking, the first part, there's a two-part question here. It said, can you remember having one or more of these automatic reactions while you were in combat or you're in traumatic experience? If so, place an X on the line between mild and severe. And then the second question was, have you had any of these reactions since you came home in the form of a flashback? If so, again, indicate how severe it was in this line below. So this is for you guys keeping track at home, keeping track of your progress there. So go ahead and make this line, make two lines. Okay, so I'll go ahead and make two lines here. And I will call the first line during and the second line after. So during your traumatic event, on a scale of mild to severe, place an X on that line wherever you feel you need to put that X so you can figure out where, the things like how severe your adrenaline rush was so that you can get through. And then after, do the same thing. If you've had a flashback, if you've had something on there that has been able to trigger an emotional response that you felt like you were back in this traumatic event, place it on this scale. And then from there, this is going to be important because as we continue on and we continue to read about this book, we continue to figure out things that you can do in your own recovery, you can go back and look at this second scale here and you can see, if you've had a flashback since then, how much it's either improved or declined. So this is going to be a good base there for you to figure that out. Now, with all that being said, again, whatever happened to you happened. There's not a damn thing you can do in the world to go back and change it. What you can do now, and this is something that if you're going through this, you need to think about on a daily basis. You can focus every single day on being a better person, and you can focus using what has happened to you, using this traumatic event, and using, this book, talking to therapists, talking to friends, whatever, to get you out of that funk and to get you back into leading a normal life. Because that, again, that's the ultimate goal here. We're trying to get you from going from a victim to a survivor. Okay? That's the ultimate goal, folks. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and knock out some push-ups and I'll get out of your hair. Okay. And we are going to continue down AC/DC. Alright, so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed spending a little bit of time with your Uncle Mason. And, hope you guys stay tuned. I hope again that you're learning something. If you have any feedback, good, bad, or otherwise, let me know, because that's what I'm here for. I'm trying to do my best to help other people out any way I can. So any feedback's appreciated. So again, guys, have a great Saturday, and I will see you tomorrow.